Hey everybody, so I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this news, but Silver Tempest booster boxes have sold out on the Pokemon Center US and Canada. And I just wanted to make a video today and kind of give my perspective on Silver Tempest and where I think it's going to land. I think a lot of people are overhyping Silver Tempest right now, and they're going to have kind of crushed expectations when they realize where the box is actually going to land. Also, I'm still just a bit sick, so bear with me today if I'm, coughing a little and, sneezing and can barely get a sentence out. But to start off, I mean, Silver Tempest, right? Decent set, decent, probably mid-tier when it comes to Sword and Shield booster boxes. You have the Lugia V up top, you have a Rayquaza, a Lugia V Star, a Regidrago V, V Star, Unknown V's, a couple Blaziken cards as well. So, outside the top hit, that's $220 almost. It drops off to a $35 Rayquaza. So not a ton of mid to high tier depth. You have some lower tier depth if you go into the second page as well. You still have cards in that $3 range, which is still a decent sign. This was one of the last sets that had a Ho-Oh card, which I thought was cool. And you have obviously Blissey, Zeraora. So some decent lower tier depth, but nothing too crazy that people get excited about. The Lugia V, this is one of my favorite alt arts. I love the colors, the blues and the greens. It just all meshes really well for me. I do like the artwork. And this card is up 72.39% on the year. So good investment if you got in early. The Rayquaza VMAX. This card was up to almost, actually over $50. Sorry, back in early June when all the alt arts were taking off. It's now landed in that $35 range. I wouldn't be surprised if this moves up even, just a bit more over the next couple weeks. And if you do still want Silver Tempest, because I know a lot of people are going to be bummed that the booster boxes are gone, and I've talked about this a couple times in my videos, you guys can still buy the booster bundles on the Pokemon Center. You can buy 25, which is case quantity, and I did buy some of these a couple weeks ago, and they came in a sealed case. So I was really happy with the condition that they arrived in. Don't sleep on booster bundles, guys. I still need to make that video talking about booster bundles. I think they're a pretty solid investment. Last Boxing Day, I actually bought a lot of Lost Origin ones for, a pretty good price. And I think I'm already up like 75% on my Lost Origin booster bundles. And obviously a lot of that is thanks to the success of the booster box. But these are products that normally sell out after booster boxes do. You can normally find them a bit cheaper than you would a booster box at a lot of retailer stores, and you can even get decent prices on them sometimes when there's discounts and stuff like that, and it makes it worth buying, right? So as Silver Tempest continues to move up, people are obviously going to target these booster bundles first. To me, that just seems like a no-brainer, especially if Silver Tempest. The booster boxes move into that 180, 185 range. If they go any higher than that, we're going to see these go very, very fast, especially because you can still buy a case. I wouldn't be surprised if these sell out quite soon. I'm not exactly sure how many are in stock. You can go check if you want. Now, if you have a service like PokeNotify or another Discord that does that. But before we go any further in this video, guys, I just wanted to jump in here and say, first of all, thank you, because there are a lot of new people watching these videos. But 77% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you're watching these videos and you're getting some value out of it and you're enjoying the content, I'd really appreciate it if you could just subscribe, leave a like on the video. It helps me out a ton. That's all I'm going to say. So moving into where I think Silver Tempest booster boxes are going to land, I imagine it's going to be somewhere in between Brilliant Stars and Astral Radiance. Now, I actually rate Astral Radiance higher than Silver Tempest, at least in my opinion, just because I think there might be a bit less out there overall, and I think long-term that'll serve it well. And also, it's just got some, better mid to high tier depth. Obviously, the Lugia is better than the Machamp, but I think the supporting cast of Astral is a bit better. That's just my opinion, but it's going to be somewhere in between these two sets, I think. So currently, Brilliant Stars is breaking through that $200 price point. Astral's sitting about $180. I think we could expect Silver Tempest, especially now that it's sold out, to move somewhere into the 185 range, maybe 190. If it lands right below Astral, like if Astral and Brilliant start moving up, say Brilliant moves into that 215 range, Astral into the 190 range, like if Silver Tempest landed at 190 as well or 185, that wouldn't surprise me either. But even if it pumped above Brilliant Stars, that also wouldn't surprise me. So Maybe Brilliant stays around that 200. We see silver bump up to 210. But it's going to be somewhere in that range, right? Like, don't expect Silver Tempest to explode to $230, $240. It's just not going to happen anytime soon, especially if Lost Origin, Chilling Reign, and I do think Brilliant Stars will probably pump before it, but especially Lost Origin, Chilling Reign, if those boxes are still in that 230, 240 range, you're not going to see silver get to that price anytime soon. So temper your expectations a bit. Now, to end the video, where do I think people are going to put their money? I obviously, Twilight Masquerade booster boxes are one. And if you go to the Pokemon Center and you sort by relevance, you can kind of see what people are buying a lot of right now. So you have the Twilight Masquerade booster boxes. You have the Fusion Strike build and battle kits. You also have Shrouded Fable ETBs and the Astral Radiance ETBs. Both of these are in the top 6. And it's not going to surprise me. I mean, people have bought out basically all the other PC ETBs. These things are very hot right now, which I think is interesting. I think it's really interesting considering, 6 months ago, people weren't a huge fan of these, especially for booster box sets, myself included. And, those Pokemon Center stamp promos are really, really hot right now. So I do think it's interesting. The Astral ones obviously don't have a promo, but just because it's a Sword and Shield set, it's one of the last things of Astral Radiance still in stock on the Pokemon Center. It's not surprising that people are going after that. They're going after the Fusion Strike build and battle kits, and the stadiums as well are still in stock, limit of 2. I think these are going to sell out really fast. I really do. I think people are going to be looking at these as kind of like a short to midterm flip. That's kind of how I'm viewing them as well, with the recent pump of, the booster boxes for Fusion Strike. I think these, just for the pack value inside, is going to be worth something, one day, and, obviously more than what you're paying at MSRP. So I think these are decent buy right now. Not a great buy, but a decent buy. Same thing, Shrouded Fable PCTB is like maybe an okay buy, but at this point, a really mid set like Shrouded Fable, if this is one of the best selling things on the Pokemon Center right now, this just screams to me that people are dumping money into things that they don't have a ton of knowledge about. They don't really care as much. They're just trying to buy up as much product as possible. They're trying to find a play where they can make a bit of money. So to me, like, something like this isn't super exciting. I think it's much more interesting, the Fusion Strike ones and the Twilight Masquerade booster boxes. Because, as I've said, in Canada, it's very hard to find these below MSRP. It's basically impossible at this point. So I think this is a set that could actually legitimately sell out soon, just because of where market value is. And if we don't get restocks, that could move the price of Twilight into a much higher bracket than it currently is. And then finally, Crown Zenith. I brought up the tins, but you can see these large figure collections with, I believe, Zacian, and there's a Zamazenta one, I believe, as well, still in stock. So I think people might continue to buy out the Crown Zenith. I've talked multiple times about how I'm a big fan of Crown Zenith. I've been buying a lot of it. I've been buying booster bundles. I have bought some of these tins as well because they're the cheapest I can find in Canada. And, I imagine you guys in the States are probably still able to find cheaper prices. That's why these haven't been bought out yet. But eventually, and I think eventually will be quite soon, when it comes to Crown Zenith, people will be buying out all the stock that they can find on the Pokemon Center for that set as well. But again, none of these are just screaming good plays. I mean, like the Fusion Strike stuff, short to midterm, I think is okay. Twilight Masquerade, I get if people are trying to open it, it makes sense to me. But as an investment, buying it at MSRP right now, maybe not. I don't know. The Astral makes sense as well. It's an older Sword and Shield set, and you guys do you. Just know that a lot of these products, again, like if you look at fundamentals of investing, you want to be investing most of your money into booster boxes, booster bundles, things that are very pack condensed that people just want because they want to open. But also the booster bundle, or the booster box, sorry, is going to be king just because it's also a collectible in and of itself. And, ETBs, sure, maybe a close second, or, PCTBs maybe overtaking regular ETBs at this point. So, put your money into good investments. Don't just be buying up every random thing you see on the Pokemon Center just because it's an older set. Make sure you have a plan on how to move some of this stuff. If you don't have an eBay store, you don't have feedback locally, a lot of these things, start building that up now. Like, start selling a few things, maybe cheaper things, that aren't super important to you. You know, trading off a couple cheaper items to get some good feedback and, you know, build your reputation up is really important. So if you don't have a big eBay store and you're planning on selling some of this stuff in 1 to 5 years, right? Like start now. I started selling on eBay in 2020 during the pandemic, and it took me about 4 years to get close to 1,000 feedback. I know people can obviously do it way faster than that, but you know that's me kind of selling part time and you know making it kind of a you know part time job, essentially working maybe 15, 20 hours a week on it. So you know it takes a while to build up feedback. So if you guys are wanting to buy all this stuff, just make sure you have a plan to move it in the future, or you know be prepared to sit on it long term until you can sell it locally for a gain, but that's still under market value where someone wants to buy it off you. So that's all I gotta say. Silver Tempest selling out, you know, not super important. We will see it move up, you know. Rising tide raises all ships. That's sort of, you know, whatever you want to call it. Bullshit, you know, not bullshit. I don't know. Whatever. That's the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. Catch you in the next one.